So I couldn't post the images because of the different contents in the video. A lot of people will be stated by pipe for ground, blood just for everywhere. So I know if you post the video because of Instagram guideline. That is what is currently going on in Angwa in JOS as we speak now. In that video, according to the person that sent it to me now, that some people came down from bike and next thing they just started to spray people with gun. It's not the first time this thing is happening in JOS. It's not the second time. Every time I ask, when does this stop? JOS is bleeding. When does this stop? JOS is bleeding. When does it stop? And there's a barrack, there's an army barrack in Rukuba, a very big army barrack in Rukuba. And if all this thing is happening, where there is a very big barrack, one of the biggest barrack in Nigeria, one of the biggest army barrack in Nigeria, is in Rukuba. And a place like Rukuba, this thing is happening. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the service chiefs, when does this all stop? JOS is bleeding. When does this all stop?
Before we continue, if you're looking for a place to get instant 10K, Card Cosmic is the place. Just by using my referral code VDMPRO, you will be credited 10K immediately after signing up with my referral code VDMPRO. If you don't use my referral code on the app, nothing for you. So instead of coming to my DM and begging me for money, I have made it easy for you to get money from bonus. Download Card Cosmic and sign up with my referral code VDMPRO and get bonus of 10K and withdraw your money.
Alright, so we are at Jude's mortuary where the corpses of the people that were attacked at Angwa Rukuba were brought in. Over 20 something of them. I counted at least 28. So at least 29 persons were brought in here. So the government said they are not going to be doing a mass burial, that they'll be burying them individually to give them the respect. I saw pregnant women. I saw a lot of young persons, older persons that were killed. So this man was present there yesterday. So he's going to give us an account of what happened. So my brother, please, in details, please be precise.
Now, as at about 7:45 p.m. yesterday night, I was driving down from Bauchi Road going to Lamingo. And then as soon as I got to the Angwa Rukuba, I saw some men, on machine, about 4 to 5 machines. And then they started shooting. And as soon as I realized that it was, a heavy gunshot, I had to quickly try as much as possible to park where I'll be safe. And then from there, I started, getting the account of actually what happened. And I realized that so many people were actually shot dead, to the extent that even someone who actually entered a particular shop where that was actually in shop to hide, they still went there and gunned him down. And if you go to the shop presently, you realize that there are gunshots, on the shop. Now, why people actually ran was because it was believed that it was NDLEA. Because sometimes when NDLEA comes there, maybe possibly to make arrests, they shoot. And that was why all the youth actually ran. Because believing that Angwa Rukuba youth are not youth that does not know their rights. But considering the fact that, NDLEA had been coming there before, they thought it was the normal arrest and then they ran. And that was why the casualties was actually much. And that was why the populace also were able to, to escape. So as at that yesterday night, some were actually taken to the hospital, some of the victims, and some that actually died immediately, were left there. And why they were left there was because everybody was agitating that taking them to the hospital, there might be, a report of saying it is just one person. And while, the victims were much, or the dead were much.
So the people that you saw, yes, what were they wearing?
The people that came were actually wearing this. Some of them wore like a camouflage, and then some of them also were using this their top hand. And some of them, one of them was actually shouting, "Is it hand drug, something like that?"
NDLEA?
No, not NDLEA. Endro. That is in Fulani language now. Yes, that they should pull back and stuff like that. So
the camouflage that they were wearing, what type of camouflage was it?
It was not actually a direct green and black camouflage, but it was black and a little bit deep green.
Did you see the type of gun that they were holding?
Actually, they were actually using AK-45.
AK-47,
sorry. Yeah. And that was why, if you go to, why I said so, is because if you go to the scene where I said they actually entered the shop and gunned down, you realize that there is even a gunshot, on the wall. So if it were a normal gun, the gun will not penetrate and even give a hole to the door, because the door is actually a steel wall, not actually
the people I saw.
Yes.
The bodies I saw.
Yeah.
It's not all of them that were carrying bullets home.
Yes.
So how is it possible that they come down at some point to start using cutlass?
Yes, it came down at some point to start using cutlass. In fact, we have account of like 2-3 people that you see cutlass on their head directly. The videos are there, to show the evidence of what actually happened. Now, there is one thing that actually baffled me in the whole situation. Now, the police, we've always been hearing that police are friends. And in that particular spot, there's a police station. So even the police station actually ran for their life. These are police that actually they are armed. So we believe that they should have, in one way or the other, even if they were unable to arrest, at least they should have a contact or gunshot. But even they themselves had to slow down the distance and they ran away. So it means that our security is on question mark in this country.
Well, it's quite unfortunate what happened. And like I said, personally,
Calm down.
I am not a journalist, so I'm not attesting on a journalist. I also believe that we all have the capability to do what they are doing. There's no monopoly in buying people. There is actually no monopoly in it. Yesterday was a very significant day in the Christian calendar. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. In the Christian calendar, that is when the Christians feast and wait for the resurrection of Jesus Christ, which is next Sunday. Next Sunday is Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So doing that thing yesterday was barbaric. The same thing happened on Saturday in Borno State. A lot of people were also killed. Now, it's quite unfortunate that the Minister of Defense, Christopher Musa, I was surprised when I saw him on the campaign ground. That the Minister of Defense, you are supposed to be strategizing with the amount of insecurity we have in Nigeria. You are campaigning. That is the most craziest thing. I lost hope. I watched an interview from the Chief of Army Staff, I think, where he was saying that they can't be killing the terrorists because just the way he said it, he said like a prodigal son, that they can come back home and they will be forgiven. If you keep forgiving them, if there's no penalty for the atrocity that they commit, they will keep on committing. So what do we do? My advice to Nigerians and the people of Okuba: do not let this repeat itself. You have a lot of boys, mobilize, strategize, and protect your community. Nothing more. All of us, they are our body. Not be only them to do this one. That's all we can say. To the youth of Okuba, see, they are bringing bodies. So, this is a call.
Inside the car now.
See, go there.
Go inside. Inside the car.
You can say anything.
Now you see, before now.
It's okay.
Before now, there've been different records. Before now, there've been different records that are circulated, in one place or the other. That after the Salah, they will come for the attack. And we believe that the security architecture is supposed to have a proactive measure based on the record.
Yes, because I heard there was an info that they put out the word that they would do this attack.
Yes.
And then it eventually happened and nothing happened. There was no measures that was put on ground to protect it.